My name is Jason Sutton, for those of you who don't know me. It was great to meet some new faces this morning. I love doing these seminars because I get to meet new people and I get to learn from you guys as well as you get to learn from me. We've got a great day planned for you, full schedule. I'm very excited to present to you my staff, Maggie Simons and Josh Bracken. Get to do a little talking today. I don't have to talk the whole day. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about their presentations and what's going to happen. Before we get started, I just recognize our Carmel staff in the back. Jason Torque. Is Jeff still here? Jeff Nichols, Golf Professional of the Year. Good job. This is the best place in America to work, and that's one of the reasons right there with my boss. Ryan back there, our interns, now full-time, no longer an intern. Congratulations. Great middle hand. Alex Vanderlinden is going to help us out a little bit with the AV, and you guys will get to hear him talk a little bit later. He was my former assistant last year, now at the Governor's Club, doing a fantastic job as an assistant professional there, doing some teaching. One of the smartest young minds in the business. You can get to hear from him later. So, like I said, I got a great day planned for you. It's always a privilege for me to talk in front of so many great golf professionals and share some of the things that have helped me along the way with my teaching with my students. So, my goal today is to leave you guys with a couple of nuggets that you can take back to your students from your club that's going to help you. I've had so much help along the way in my career, and you're going to hear me mention a lot of people that I'm going to thank. Is I think it's really important when you learn something new or you try something that works, is you give people credit. I think that's a big part of it. One of my goals is always to show up in somebody's testimonial. The older I get, the things like that start to happen. And the reason that's important, not because of being selfish, but more it's because I've affected somebody positively in their young career, as being a mentor now to young people like Alex and Josh and Maggie. It's really one of the favorite things that I like to do. So I'm really excited to present for you guys today. This morning I'm going to do some full swing stuff, and then as you can see on the schedule, this afternoon we'll talk about putting. So give you a little bit of a mix of some different parts of the game. So go ahead and get started here. Like I said, my goal is when I'm always presenting, I'm trying to inspire. Okay, what I mean by that is I'm trying to give you guys something that you're going to get excited about. Maybe go back and try, right, or test, or however you want to look at it. But that's my main goal: is to get you to do something different, right? Make a change. Also, I want to educate. Obviously, coming up through the ranks, I've been teaching golf for over 23 years now, and it's very important to me to get the right information. A lot of things out there that people are teaching along the way, maybe not quite accurate. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about that. I'm going to talk about technology and how you use technology and how that's going to allow us to be accurate with the information that we're giving. It's very, very important. So quality information is important. Also, I wanted to just mention that Brad Redding and myself and Mark LaPointe that's here. Where's Mark? Yeah. Our area director, thank you, by the way, for allowing us to meet today. Are going to start a teaching committee. And really my goal, and as our group, we're going to try to provide opportunities like this for you guys to get education, to get your points, and so forth. So it's going to be really an exciting year to be a part of that. You'll see some things come up at our show in February, which I'll do a little talk at that one as well. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I always like to start my talks with a couple of quotes that are important to me. And these are two of my favorites. And two people that, talking about testimonials, that have had a big impact on my career. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar, but they're both passed away now. But it's amazing how much they've affected my lives and some of the programs that I've done, and also some of the audio tapes and so forth that I've listened to, and books that I've read that they've written. and I never met him, right? Never got a chance to meet him. That's one of the things that I've always regretted is I never got to meet Mr. Roan because he was just an outstanding person. But, you know, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. And I think that's something you can live by for sure. When we talk about our business as, you know, things get tough, whether you're a head professional or assistant pro, and you think, wow, I wish I would have had a better job, or I wish I would have had a better situation. I always remind my staff to, you know, build your skills, create more value for yourself. Okay? Don't complain. Right? If you work harder than what you're getting paid, you'll never look for a job. That's my theory. Right? Somebody else will pay you what you're worth eventually. And that's what I always got from Mr. Roan. And then my favorite quote is, you can have everything in your life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. Help other people. Invest your time in other people in reaching their goals, and it all comes back to tenfold. Not in a selfish manner, but what you can become as a person. Right? I'm not going to make this a personal development seminar, but those are two things that are very important to me. And when I come to these talks, I always like to get a couple of these quotes to take with me. Here at Carmel Country Club, I'm very fortunate to be able to work with some of the best technology in the business. And these are some of the tools that we use. TrackMan, Sandpile body track that I'm testing out right now. I love this picture. This is my son when he was 10. He's 13 now. He's so little right there. I thought that was pretty cool. What an advantage some of these kids have nowadays to be able to work with some of the technology that's available out there. And this is the reason why we're having such success with young players, I think. He knows TrackMan numbers and Sam Putlab numbers better than I do, I think. He's 13. So pretty cool. So we're going to talk about the importance of working with technology, how I use it in my teaching, right? Maybe some of the misconceptions that are out there as far as, you know, the technology making things more complicated, which I disagree with. I'm a big fan of measuring. Okay? I love to do research, and I love to test things. And just like I talked about earlier, I don't like to teach anything without data backup. All right? You're going to have to prove it to me before I'm really going to buy into the fact that something's happening or whatever. It's just something that I love to do. And I love this. I think James Light said this. Why guess when you can measure? I'm a big proponent of that, as we're going to talk about. So this morning I'm going to talk about how I use Doppler radar. We said this afternoon we talked about putting. I'll talk a little bit about sandpile. I want to make this as interactive as possible. If you have any questions, just throw a hand up. I'm happy to answer. I can go in a lot of different directions, and I'm going to try to stay focused on this topic. I tend to go on tangents occasionally, as my staff will attest to. When we start talking about the golf swing, I can go in a lot of different directions. But I want to get you guys some good basic information of how I use TrackMan and how it's really helped me and helped my students. I've been teaching TrackMan for almost 3 years now, I guess, 2.5 years. I was very well versed in the numbers well before I got it, so I was very excited once I could get my hands on it and actually do some teaching on it and fitting. Fitting is incredible with TrackMan. So let's get started. So if you look at TrackMan, can you teach without TrackMan? Absolutely, of course you can. I mean, I did it for years. Before I even had video. I had books full of golf contest pictures and pictures of swings and stuff that I would have to show my students, like, this is what I'm trying to get you to do. And obviously now we've got video. So video is the greatest thing, doing the observational science, but video can fool you a lot of times, as I've found when we start using TrackMan and start learning about what's actually happening at impact. Like I said, I always tell people that, they're like, TrackMan is going to make you a better teacher. It can, okay? It doesn't have to always make you a better teacher. If you find a good young person and just give them TrackMan and tell them to give a lesson, and they don't really know what's going on, it's not going to be any better than if they didn't have TrackMan, right? So TrackMan is simply a measuring device, okay? All it does is allow you to measure change. Think of it that way, right? So TrackMan doesn't make the teacher, it just enhances the teacher. is how I would describe it. TrackMan is simply an MRI of collision. Right? What happens when the ball, the club face collides with the golf ball? Simple as that. Okay? Pretty important stuff to know when you can measure that. All right? We're not talking positions. We're not talking about anything other than what's happening with ball flight. TrackMan makes your time more efficient. Again, the expert teacher is going to get to the solution much quicker with TrackMan or with Flight Scope or whatever you're using out there. How many in the room's using some kind of Doppler radar? Yeah, okay, so this is going to be a little bit new for you guys. This is good. But I can tell you, it's pretty incredible what we can do with it. This TrackMan doesn't care how much or how you fix the student or how you fix the problem. Again, that's up to the teacher. Right? All it is measuring what's going on. It doesn't care if you're stacking tilt or if you're one plane, two plane, or MORAD or whatever. All it's doing is measuring what's happening in impact. And then the last thing is what I feel like is the most important is TrackMan should be used to teach feel. Right? You may want to write that down. TrackMan should be used to teach feel. It is not position oriented. All it's doing is measuring change. Right? If you're making a path change of the student or a club face change, what does that feel like and what does the change feel like to the student? That's what's important. Alright, so just a couple of notes on what I think teachers should know nowadays. There's so much great information coming out now with the scientists, okay, as we've talked about with some of the things that Dr. Quan's doing and Mike Duffy and Chris Como and Manziel, these guys are talking about the science. They're just talking about basically measuring what the club does. Anybody heard of gears? That's probably the new thing. If you guys went to the PGA show, last year was the hit of the PGA show. It's an incredible piece of machinery that measures the club, measures your body, and measures impact. So it's like all this in one in a three-dimensional space, which is ridiculous. But everybody should know D-plane. Has everybody heard of D-plane? The angle? You remember that conversation? A few years ago, right? So let's take a poll, right? Just to kind of get an idea of the group here. How many think that the starting direction of the golf ball is the path? Everybody throw your hand up if you think it's the path. Okay. How many think it's the face? There you go. Yeah, so I'd say that's awesome. 10 years ago, I think we probably would have done like half and half. Right? Because what we learned when we were coming up as young professionals, whether it was written correctly in the PGA manual or not, something got lost in translation. And we thought that the path was what created the starting direction, the face created the curve. Right? TrackMan has basically proven that that's not true. So very, very, very important that we understand ball flight. We'll talk about that here in a second. The three different parts of the club. What are they? The shaft, the club head, the club face. Okay? What should those be doing throughout the swing and through D-space? And then the new thing, as you guys are probably going to hear a lot more about now that Chris Combo is finally becoming the focal point teaching Tiger, is how to use the ground as leverage. Okay? It's nothing new. Okay? Everybody's going to say, oh, I used to teach that years ago, for sure. But again, now with body track and swing catalyst and some of these great tools out there, you can measure how much force is being created by you pushing against the ground and the opposing force. So understanding how the body moves is important. Understanding how to get your students to use the ground is very important. I'm not going to go into detail on that today. It's something you definitely need to look at. And then how do we put the pieces together? How do we connect the dots? Okay? And I think that's done primarily through a lot of teaching experience. Okay? Trial and error, obviously. What pieces go together? What type of pivots? What type of arm planes? What type of wrist angles? What type of stances? These are all things that you have to know in order to help your students. Right? And it'd be great if we came right out of college and we feel like, we can do all this stuff, because all these young teachers now have great information. Okay? They just lack a little bit of experience. So all this putting it together stuff is really, really difficult. So it's something that you're going to have to learn through, just give us a ton of golf lessons. All right, what works, what doesn't work, what looks good, studying video. I suggest you study the swings that don't look so good to your eye. Figure out how they work. That was my advice that I got from Chris Como this summer. I spent some time with him. And, you know, a lot of times we're always looking at the swings that look the best on tour. Right? We're like, oh man, Adam Scott's swing looks awesome. Let's try to get everybody to look like Adam Scott. And I said, Chris, how do you figure out how to put the pieces together? He goes, go figure out why the odd swings work so well. I thought that was outstanding advice. I'm doing a little project with our staff this winter, and we picked 5 odd swings from champion golfers. And we're going to put them on video. We're going to take it through each position and sort of see what commonalities we can find out. It should be an interesting study. I'm working on Heman Darcy right now. You guys ever seen that move? He's basically the European Jim Furyk, right? Awesome player. So why does Trevino's swing work? What does Furyk's swing work? These are the things that you got to look at, sort of getting out of the box of, you know, how are we going to help our students better? Because all our students can't do what we want them to do anyway, right? Especially the players that we're working with. Very difficult. And then how to structure a lesson to make the most out of your time. I know Josh is going to cover that a little bit in this talk, so I'm not going to spend much time on it, but something that is super, super important. How do you structure a golf lesson? How do you interview properly? How do you do the analysis? How do you get the fix as quickly as possible? And then how do you review and how do you follow up? Okay? It's not just about having the great information. You got to be able to put it all together in a golf lesson and help the student in an hour or 30 minutes. And something I learned how to do very well at Dana River Golf School when I worked there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about ball flight. Okay, just so we're clear. The D-plane is simply a descriptive plane. Theodore Jurgensen wrote a book called The Physics of Golf in 1993. That's where the term was coined. And it sort of got traction, I guess, in the early 2000s in the teaching circles. And especially now with the development of TrackMan, it's proven the fact that the club face is responsible for the majority of the starting launch of a golf ball. I think it's like 85–90%, maybe even more sometimes, depending on strike points we'll talk about here in a second. So, the club path is the king of curvature.
Will this slideshow be shared to everyone after the meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want this presentation, just email me and I'll send it to you. No problem. If you wait on that to take too many notes. The club path creates the curvature, the spin axis tilt. The club path is a combination of